everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am joined with my mother.
Hello.
And today we are filming a video all about university, moving away from home for the first time, etc, etc. So I asked for questions on Instagram, so let's just get started. Right, so we'll go for the first question here, which is how did you both feel at first and how long did it take each of you to feel better about not living together? Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go first. When I first knew that Hollie was going to university, I was really proud, and the choice was hers. Whichever university she wanted to go to, I would support her decision. Not really thinking that when she actually did move up, that it was quite so far away. I remember the drive up and I thought, oh, we're only at Dundee. Oh, we've got another hour and a half to go. Getting in the car to drive back down the road was one of the hardest things that I've ever done. It's just you're leaving your precious with a whole load of people you don't know.
You've never met before.
People she doesn't know, and you're not there. You're not there just to help out, and it's just the big step of driving away thinking she's got to figure this out for herself now. I cried all the way home that night and it was really, really tough. It was one of the hardest things that I have ever had to do. And I just think about how brave Hollie was doing it because she'd never been away from home. Very hard for me, but I'm sure it was extremely hard for Hollie as well.
See, I get a lot of questions about that from people like preparing to move to uni, and for me, I never had like the initial nerves and kind of like, oh my goodness, I'm actually leaving home. For me, I was just really excited because after going to all of the interviews and stuff, I knew that Aberdeen was like my favourite and that was a place I wanted to go. So when it came to the time of actually going there, it felt as though like I'd reached a goal and it was the next step, and I moved up and I was excited to meet my new flatmates and get into it. And I went up and I never had that kind of dread going through my brain. When Mum left, I didn't actually feel upset. Like, obviously it was weird, but I'm like a crier. Whenever anything happens, I cry. And for some reason, I didn't cry. And I thought that's a good sign. It shows I'm excited. It was kind of like the adrenaline just kept going. I was just excited. I was just excited to get into a new city, meet new friends, do new things.
See, I was
kind of opposite.
Well, I was excited for you as well. And it didn't actually hit me until I got in the car to drive back down the road.
Yourself.
You know, getting Hollie ready to go to Aberdeen was exciting for me as well. And I think when you've brought up a child and you've gone through the school years and you get to the end of that and you think, right, I'm done with the school run, I'm done with the school term, I'm ready for the next step in our life. And it was Hollie moving to Aberdeen. Super exciting. It was the moment that I put all the bags in her room and jumped into my car and realised I was leaving her behind. That was the moment that it hit home for me.
So how long would you say it was until it kind of felt normal, like me not being around the house all the time?
Yeah, it took a while. I would say at least 3 weeks to a month. The next time I went up to visit Hollie, I thought, oh, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to get up to see her. And then I cried all the way home the second time.
Yeah.
I thought I would go up every weekend and visit her. I thought she would come home every other weekend. But the reality is, Hollie got a job as soon as she got up to Aberdeen. Even before we'd unpacked the car, you had a job.
Yeah, I had an interview the day after I moved up to Aberdeen for my job, and then the next day they were like, right, you're hired. And I had a Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday off uni, and I was working Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. So
my idea of being able to go up and visit Hollie every weekend wasn't a reality, because I would phone her up and I'll say, can I come up this weekend? She says, Mum, there's no point. I'm working
9 till 6.
So in between seeing Hollie, the gaps grew and grew and grew because of her work commitments and study commitments.
That kind of goes on to the next question, which is it hard living away from each other, and how often do you come home in the year? And I feel as though for me, in the first year, I would say I came home about 4 or 5 times because I just couldn't come home because of work. and I kept getting given more and more shifts when I didn't want more and more shifts, so I didn't have the time to come home. Whereas this year, I now work for the university, my hours are a lot more flexible and it's given me a lot more time to come home. But yeah, I'd say in first year you came up a lot more, and in second year I was down a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the time you've been, or all through second year, I think I've only been up twice.
And is it hard living away from each other?
No, I don't think so. I think what we get now is the excitement of looking forward to the times when Hollie comes home. When Hollie moved away, I got into a different routine, started doing different things, and it's actually quite nice that I don't need to say, oh, I need to run home and make the tea.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a free agent.
It gives you more free time to do stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
And I'd say as well, there's always like phone calls and FaceTimes and blah 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 blah. And personally, I'm not one for a phone call or a FaceTime. I can't. I'm the worst when it comes to.
Don't dare phone her.
I just can't be bothered with like useless chat, basically. Like, see, Mum would always just phone because she was bored and she's like, oh, I've not spoken to you in like 2 hours, what are you doing? And I was like, Mum, I was like, this is a useless phone call. I was like, phone me back when you have something to say.
I know.
So there's always that. If that's something you're worried about, like, you can always see each other if you really want to. So I'm just not too good at it. There's this one here. How is life in Aberdeen in comparison to Glasgow? I'm moving there for uni in September. Well, firstly, congratulations. I feel like this will be quite fun because for me, I've gone from kind of living here to living in Aberdeen, whereas you come up and visit in Aberdeen, so you'll see it from a different kind of perspective. But I would say I love living in Aberdeen. So at home, we live kind of halfway between Glasgow and Edinburgh, so we're not kind of in the city, whereas in Aberdeen, I'm living like in walking distance to the very centre of the city. And that was really fun. It was something different, something that I'd never experienced before. I can walk everywhere now. I don't need to rely on driving somewhere, getting lifts, going on the train, which is great fun. And I feel like it's just a different experience altogether. I really, really like it. And Aberdeen is a city, but it's a small city, so it's not as daunting as living in like Glasgow or Edinburgh, which I don't think I could do. I think I'd get a bit stressed out in a bigger city. But yeah, I really like living in Aberdeen. It has everything that you need.
Yeah, I was pretty envious of Hollie for a while because, as I say, we have always... Oh,
it's just really overexposed. There we go, that's better.
Because we have always lived in the country, and I thought, oh, how great must that be not to need to drive everywhere and just experience the cafe culture. You know, get up in the morning, go out for a coffee, you know, just meet your friends in Starbucks, and I think that must be a great way to live.
And from your opinion, just because I know there's a lot of people that watch my channel that are moving to Aberdeen, what are like some of your favourite things to do when you visit Aberdeen? So if their parents were going up to visit them in Aberdeen one day, what are some of your favourite things to do or see or stay or?
What's the shopping centre at the train station?
Union Square.
Union Square. I love Union Square.
It's a very good shopping centre.
Yeah. A couple of times I went up on the train to visit Hollie, and there is a hotel attached to Union Square. So I just checked into the hotel, met Hollie, we went for some sushi, great shopping. So you don't even need to get your hair wet.
It's just like everything is in the one place.
It's all there.
Like you go to Union Square, there's the hotel, there's the train station, there's a full like downstairs of shops, upstairs there's like loads of restaurants, there's a cinema. It's just, there's so much to do. It's like they've packed everything in a really easy way.
Yeah, but yeah, there are some lovely hotels in Aberdeen. We've sort of found one that we really like. Am I allowed to say the name of it?
Yeah.
What is the name of it? I've forgotten.
The Chester.
The Chester Hotel in Aberdeen. Oh, it's one of my favourite places.
It's very cool.
And then another time we came up and went to the theatre.
Oh yeah.
What was it we saw? That was
we saw the Bruins.
The Bruins. With Aunt Eleanor and Uncle Jimmy. So yeah, we kind of made it a family weekend, and my sister, or Hollie's aunt and uncle and cousins came up.
And that's the fun thing
weekend.
about living away, because then it does make it more special and people make the effort. Like I feel as though if I just went to uni in Glasgow or something, like Auntie Eleanor and Uncle Jimmy, like they might come in and see the flat when I moved in, but it's kind of not anything really special, whereas like having a little like weekend up in Aberdeen, it's fun.
Yeah.
And the last question I have here, is how long did it take you to make friends in first year? And for me, the friends I still have now were pretty much the people I met first when I moved to university. My group of friends now are people I lived with in first year and people I met through the people I lived with in first year.
But I think one of the good things before Hollie went up to uni, there was a group chat for the kids that were moving into Hollie's flat.
Yeah.
So they all started chatting before they moved in, which I thought was really good.
So if you are moving into halls in the next few weeks, definitely have a search on Facebook to see if there is a Facebook group to do with the halls that you're moving into. So I was staying in Unite Students Causeway View halls, so I literally just typed that into Facebook and a group came up, and it was just everyone that was going to be staying in those halls for the next year. And then basically people were just on there putting in their flat number or asking if they knew anyone else that was going to be in that flat. And from that group I found 4 of my flatmates before I even moved in, and we started a group chat, we started talking. So that meant that when we did eventually all move in together, we all kind of knew each other's names and faces, and it just made it a lot more it was a lot
familiar.
less daunting. Yeah, it was more familiar and a lot easier because you already had that kind of basic understanding of everyone. So one question for you, what advice would you give to any parents watching this that are kind of not scared but a little apprehensive about their child moving out to university?
Yeah, you will be scared. It's a big step for this young person that you've poured everything into, but they're ready for it, and you just got to realise that it's the next step and it's good for them, and however much it hurts, you will get over it, and you can sit back with pride and watch this little person or this young person flourish. And what gives me enormous pride is when Hollie comes home, and if we're at a function or are we visiting friends or family, and Hollie can talk with such confidence about where she is, what she's doing, who she's met, her plans. None of that would have been possible if she'd been here, you know, under my wings.
When I applied for universities, I didn't actually apply to any universities in or around Glasgow because I wanted to kind of push myself, get out of my comfort zone, because I've lived in the same house my entire life, lived in like the same town with the same people, and I thought it'd be something different. I thought it'd be good to challenge myself and try something new, but in saying that, I didn't ever imagine that I'd move to Aberdeen. I thought I'd go as far as Dundee or something and like no further. But it just so happened that when I went to Aberdeen, it was my favourite. I just felt as though I fitted in there and I got on really well there. And I moved there and I love it. So definitely keep... I would just say, like, keep your options open and always trust that like the decisions you make, you've made them for a reason. So even if you're sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, I need to move out in a week, what have I done? Just keep the faith.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing is, if it's not right, which a lot, or sometimes it's not right for everyone, there's always home.
Yeah, so I think to end this video, I do just want to say that obviously we've only answered from our personal experience, but definitely just take it in your stride, one step at a time, and it'll all work out okay.
And mama, if your kid's doing cartwheels out the drive because they're so excited to be leaving home, don't take it personally. They will be back.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
Especially for a sofa and a warm fire and home cooked meals. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. If you do have any more questions, you can leave them down below in the comments section of this video, or you can drop me a message on Instagram because I reply to Instagram messages all day every day. So yes, thank you for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye!
Bye everybody.